Greetings, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for the 8 Keys to a Successful Business Startup with myself, Phyllis Johnson, and Jasmine Adams. We're so happy to have you guys here today. So we decided to do this webinar. As you guys who may or may not know us, this is our second webinar together, and we really like working with small business owners. And so today we want to present to you guys the 8 keys to a successful business startup, guys. So we're going to go through all the letters. You're going to hear from Jasmine and myself, and then you guys can go ahead and if you have questions, go ahead and comment in the chat box. Go ahead and answer the poll question that is up on the screen, and feel free to let us know where you're joining us from. So guys, when you guys think of a successful business startup, what are some of the letters and things that you think of? So this is what we came up with. First of all, you need a business plan. No matter how big or how small you are, you need a business plan. Then you need to understand the market, have your SMART goals, invest in a team, networking, educate yourself, have startup capital, and stay hungry. So guys, I really want to tell you guys a story about Jasmine and I. We met just a few months ago in December. One of my 2019 goals was to really start doing more speaking events and webinars. And so I saw that she was doing Facts and Snacks. And if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and go to her Facebook page and watch some of the videos, because she's doing a lot of training, guys, a lot of information on small business startups and virtual assistant and marketing and so much more. And so she interviewed me on, the fun of taxes and QuickBooks and accounting. And we realized that we connected with each other. And so we decided we were going to actually start doing webinars together so we could both accomplish our 2019 goals. And so guys, this really is the key to a successful business startup, is something that she and I are doing together. So we pretty much went through this whole process when we decided to do webinars. So hopefully you guys get something out of this and know that, you guys can accomplish your goals whatever year you decide to start them. So just a little bit about myself. For those who don't know, my name is Phyllis Johnson. I am the owner and CEO of PKJ Consulting. I've been in business now for 4 years. I am here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then we have Jasmine, who is in Arkansas. So my company helps small business owners and entrepreneurs, focus on their passion while we take care of all of their back end operational, consulting, and accounting needs. So we do business plans, we do accounting, we do taxes, payroll, startups. So, LLC setup. Pretty much we are that one-stop shop for entrepreneurs and small business owners. I have a bachelor's degree from Pepperdine. I have my master's degree, and as you guys can see, I'm certified in a lot of stuff. I am someone who truly believes in educating yourself. In addition to that, I successfully started multiple businesses with annual revenues of over $30 million. So guys, this is something that I'm really, really passionate about, and am really excited to share with you guys some of the things that I did myself to get my business up and running and successful. So guys, I really want to introduce to you guys now Jasmine, who is such an amazing person, and she's here on this webinar today.
Oh my gosh, Phyllis, thank you so much for that. Isn't Phyllis awesome? Forget me. She's the awesome one. No, thank you so much. I'm really, really excited to be here with you guys. If you are in the really early stages of your business, or if you're looking to start a business, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to be dropping some jewels on you guys, as I like to say, and really spilling some great value. And we will also share some of our personal experiences as well. So again, my name is Jasmine, and I am the founder & Co. We were founded in 2017, and we are a virtual assistant agency. So pretty much what we do is we help business maximize their profitability and growth by taking the administrative and marketing tasks off their hands. We free up your time. We help you get back to the things that matter in your business, such as, focusing on revenue generating tasks, being the leader of your business development, creating partnerships and collaborations, and all of that. So I am also an author, I'm a video host, and more importantly, I am an online businessman. I help you manage your business from A to Z, anything administrative, anything marketing, we do that. I also have my BBA in management, and I also have my MBA too. And I left out, I am a loving wife, and I am a diehard mom of two beautiful princesses that just absolutely keep me going every day. So again, I really appreciate you being here with us. Go ahead and pull out your notepads. There will be a lot of notes that you will need to take. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Phyllis so that she can get us started with the first key to a successful business.
Great, guys. So as you see, one thing you may have noticed is, myself and Jasmine, she has some great strengths, I have some great strengths, and we kind of, unite together to really help businesses. So the first one, guys, business plan. Now, a lot of people say, why do I need a business plan? Guys, if you don't know what your goals are or how you're going to, get business or how you're going to spend money or marketing, you're going to be lost and don't know where to start. So just, as an example, a business plan can be anything from a one-page document that you sit down, for example, if you have an online e-commerce business that you're starting, to a 40-page document that is necessary if you're going to get a small business loan, guys. Anytime you need funding, you really do need a detailed business plan. So just a quick overview of what entails a business plan. And today we're going to be using the example of Jasmine and I starting a level up online boutique that is going to be, used as an example throughout this webinar. So first of all, you need the executive summary. The executive summary is like a brief one-page summary of, what the business is going to do, who's going to run the business, how much funding you need if you need anything. Pretty much just like a brief detail of what someone's going to read in the business plan. Then you have your business description. That goes a little bit more into detail. So for example, if we're doing level up, boutique, in our business description would be, we want to have a online clothing line for women who, want to take their life to the next level. So whether they're going through a divorce and they want to get some cute clothing to hit a night on the town, or whether they're going for that next job interview so that they can go from, making $40,000 to $80,000. Level Up Boutique will help you get that new clothing and new style. That would kind of be the way we'd be describing ourselves. Then you want to do a marketing analysis. How are you going to, get clients? So are you going to use social media? Are you going to use SEO? Are you going to have a website? Then location. Now, guys, I really want to press on this if you are starting a non-retail, non-online business. So, for example, you're opening up a restaurant. Location is one of the most important things because you need to really understand, by doing your marketing analysis, understand what location you should open up in. So, I live here in Las Vegas, and there's different areas, that you should open business in, depending on what type of business you're opening in. So, I actually am in here in my office in Henderson, and then right up the street, guys, next year is where the Raiders, for the most part, will be moving to. So, if I wanted to open up a clothing store, guys, I would, open up maybe near the Raiders one and try to get some Raiders to come in there. So you just really want to understand what location is going to bring you the revenue that you desire. Then a competitive analysis. You need to really understand, who's your competition. Now, never shy away from it, but guys, understand, who's doing what and, who's killing it in that industry. So, for example, as a Level Up Boutique, you have Fashion Nova, which is the #1 online business, guys. And so understanding what it is that they do that makes them an online killer. And for those who don't know, they use influencers. So what they were a small store in Southern California in a city that most people don't know unless you live there. And his daughter told him to take the business online. And so he started having people like Cardi B and Kim Kardashian wear the clothing, and that's really what made it popular. Then you want to have management and operations. Who's going to run the business? Where are the things that you need help with? Do you have an operations, a marketing, an accounting person? All those little pieces that's going to make you successful. And then last but not least, numbers, guys. As an accountant myself, I'm always going to press on the importance of knowing your numbers. So you need to understand, a profit and loss, balance sheet, cash flow statement. How are you going to make your money? How many dresses do I need to sell to break even? How many, burgers do I need to sell to break even? How much funding do I need? What am I going to have that funding on? So guys, if you're trying to do a really detailed business plan and you need help with any of these pieces, make sure you have someone that you can work with to get this stuff down so that you can really focus on, starting your business. Now, guys, the next one is understanding the market. You need to understand, who your customer is. So anytime that I tell people, what they're starting a business, I say to them this: close your eyes and 5 people are walking in, 5 totally different people. Who would you pick as your client immediately first? Who would you talk to first and why? That is your ideal customer. So, everyone says, okay, but what if I'm a Walmart and I want to sell to everybody? Yes, but initially Walmart had a target in mind. For example, Revlon sells lipstick, guys, but if you have Revlon money, you can have customers during the day that are more geared towards that stay-at-home mom and, hey, put a little lipstick on, when you get some free time. Or on Friday night, you'll see Revlon more, advertising that ba 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 boom lipstick because it's, going out on night on the town. So initially, if you don't have that kind of marketing money, you need to figure out who that client is and then branch out from there. Then, guys, is there a current market for your business? So typewriters, typewriters are great. We used them 20, 30 years ago, a long time ago. And I know people that still have typewriters, but if you're trying to sell them as your startup business, guys, probably not going to be successful unless you're going to be selling them to arts or antiques or something of that nature. Then look at the current gaps in your market. Okay, you see all these different businesses. What aren't they doing that you guys can do to make yourself interesting? And then last but not least, how do you differentiate yourself if the market is saturated? So I always give this example probably in every webinar and every conversation I have with someone who is kind of scared to start their business if the market is saturated. There's a Walmart, there is a Target, a CVS, and a Walgreens, guy, and they're all usually within a mile of each other. They found ways to differentiate themselves, even though they sell the same thing. Walmart is the low price leader. Target is that place where you go to where it's a little bit more expensive, but you feel like you're getting a better experience, guys. So, if we are doing a level up boutique, for example, how would we want to differentiate ourselves? Well, we're going after that person who just wants to just go up to the next level, and that's how we would kind of slide ourselves into the market. You got to figure that out because you don't want someone to say, okay, this is the same product that everyone else is selling. Why should I buy from you? Now, guys, okay, we've all heard of SMART goals, but we're going to have Jasmine really, give you guys some more examples and information on what SMART goals are.
Awesome. First, I want to do a check. Can everybody, Phyllis was going a little bit in and out on my end, so I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Yeah, high five in the chat box if you can hear me before I get started. Thanks so much. Okay, so let's talk about SMART goals. Everybody knows what goals are, but we're going to dive a little bit how you can be goals. So what is a goal? Goals, visions, or commits to achieve. Boom, it's that simple. We all know that, right? But let's talk about, let's dive into what are SMART goals. So SMART goals, they give you the guidance on what your target is, and this helps you to create a well-formulated goal so that you can be successful, and especially in your business. So these same, what we're going to be talking about, you can, use these, this goal setting in your personal life as well, not just your business life. So what does SMART stand for? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So let's go a little bit deeper in each one of those and what they mean. So being specific. So what exactly are achieved? You want to make sure that you guys are providing specific information and that you are very, very thorough, and that you give a thorough description on what you're after and what it is that you're trying to do. So some of the ask yourself when you're setting your goals and objectives are, what exactly is it that you're trying to achieve? Where, how, when, with whom, and then what are the conditions and limitations? And then why do you want to achieve that goal? What are the possible alternative ways, that goal? What are some other ways that you can achieve that goal besides maybe the one route or the one strategy that you're thinking about? Moving on to the M, which means measurable. So it's important to have measurable goals. Absolutely. So that you can track your progress. Very, very important. If you set a goal and you're not able to assess or track your progress, it's very, very hard to keep up with. And that will most definitely, get in your way on you meeting your deadlines and actually You don't know when you're going to reach it because you're not able to. So when you assess your progress, you want to be able to assess your progress. When you do that, stay focused, and just like I said a minute ago, meet those deadlines. And it also just excitement. For example, for me, when I set a goal, and then it's measurable all the time. When I can go back and track and look where I am in the process, if I set a 6-month goal, for my Level Up Boutique, to reach 10 sales, I'm giving myself 6 months to get to that point. And I'm on month 3, and I'm like, wow, like, okay, we have a couple of more months to kind of make some ground so that we can reach our goal. So you want to make sure that it's measurable. So when you're thinking about a measurable goal, it should address questions such as like, or how many, and how will I know when it is accomplished? All of those questions, then you most definitely have a measurable goal. So moving on to achievable. So your goal also needs to be super realistic and attainable, so that you can be successful. That's one of the many ways to do it. There are many ways to do it, but this is one of the ways. And then so in other words, guys, it should be able to your stretch. You can stretch it, but make sure that it's still possible. For example, if you want to be president of the United States, that's wonderful. You have to look, do you have a background in politics in the United States next year? Or not next year, I'm sorry, next term. We really have to look at how reasonable is that, right? That you're going to actually do all of that. So you want to make sure that it's something that is going to ties into the next point, which is relevant, and we'll get there in a second. So an achievable goal will usually answer, how can I accomplish this goal? What do you need to accomplish that goal? And then how realistic is the goal based on other constraints, social factors, and things like that. You definitely want to keep that in mind, because everything sounds great sometimes, but you have to be realistic with yourself and your budget. So moving on to relevant. So this step in the SMART goals is really ensuring that your goal matters to you, but that is also relevant to some of the other goals in your business. So a relevant goal can answer yes to any of these questions. While this the right time. I will tell you guys personally, for me, a million ideas that I'm always thinking of, and they're usually all great. And I will execute all of them at the same time. And so what I have learned on this journey is that to do that. And the reason is because I will be mediocre in all of those things instead of being great at one thing, or really pushing and trying to go over and beyond on make ideas. So if my goal was to create a course, I don't want to create a course and do 10 other things at the same time, right? So some of the answer yes to these questions. Does it seem, or wow, I've already started that. Does it seem worthwhile? Is this the right time? Does this match our efforts and needs? Am I the right person to really is, or is it your business partner, or is it someone that's on your team, or that's going to be on your team? Or, are you outsourcing that out? I really want you to think about if you're the right person, for that. And is it applicable in the current socioeconomic environment? Look at what's going on around you. You want to look at what's going on with your competitors as well. Then, guys, letter we have here in SMART goals is the T, which is time bound. So every goal needs so that you have a deadline to focus on, but you also have something to work toward. Yeah, right. So this part of the SMART goals criteria really helps to prevent everyday tasks from taking over your long-term goals. So we usually answer these questions here. When? What can I do 6 months from now? What can I do 6 weeks from now? And then what can I do today? And I really challenge you, if you're the type of person like I am, I break down things like to the day, even block off this time in a day. But I recommend you do that. It's great if you have a long-term goal, 6 or a year from now, that's wonderful. But in order to have to break it all the way down on what you need to actually get there, going back to the measurable in our SMART tasks. So why is it important to have SMART goal setting? It's important. Like I mentioned, guys, you can use this in your personal life as well as in your business life. As what goal says, by making it what we mentioned, specific. You want to be specific about it. You want to make sure that it's measurable so that you can track it. It's achievable and that is realistic. Be honest with yourself. Sometimes we don't do that. And then you want to make sure that and so this method will truly help. It'll give you a sense of direction as well as help you organize and reach your goals, which in the end, that is what you should want for your business. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over back to Phyllis. I'm sorry. I'm going to be next. We're talking about investing in a team. Oh my God. This is my jam, guys. I absolutely love this. This is what my business is. We're talking about outsourcing. So investing in a team. Usually I when I'm consulting with business owners, I categorize them in one or two categories. So you have business owner A, business, and they basically keep all their profits and they don't really invest in a team or bring anyone on until their business really skyrockets and takes off and that growth is there. Then you have business owners. They're willing to make that investment up front initially because they want everything organized and together. So when their business is ready to take off and grow, everything's already together. The structure's there, the foundation is there, and that's wonderful. So neither one of them are the wrong answer. But for business owner B, I recommend and try to, push business owners on that side. And the reason is because it's going to help you. So let's go ahead and talk about that here. So the T in team is for tackling more and taking on additional clients and customers. For those of you that are on here that you're in the early stages of your business, I really want you to yourself and think about this. How much time are you spending thinking about that? You that haven't started your business yet, I still want you to envision and I want you to keep this and write this down, because when you get to the point when you actually start your business, I want you to think about this. I want you to also look at how many in your business versus on your business. This is very, very important, guys, because in order to grow your business and really take your business to the next level, pull yourself out. It's hard to do. I get it. It's your baby. I understand. Been there, done that. But you have to pull yourself out. So someone on board, guys, when you start building your team, you really can tackle more. You can focus more on content creation. You can focus more on being business, what you should be, business development, build those meetings to try to get potential clients, all of that, all of the above. You want to be able to do that stuff, as well as you want to be able to, the ultimate goal, right, is for your business to grow. That should be anybody's goal. More clients equals more. So in order for you to really do that and do it successfully, you will have to invest in a team and do that. And I will tell you from experience, and I know this as well, I had to outsource, it was a point on social media, and I do this anymore. I was spending 10 to 15 hours a week trying to get my social media situated so that I make sure my online presence looked good. And it just wasn't feasible. It wasn't feasible to use my time that way. And so once I outsourced that and I realized, oh my gosh, look at how much more time I have on my hands to do stuff. It was amazing. Totally worth the investment. I wasn't necessarily budget at the time, but I created a budget. I took away from some things that I had going on. I said, I'm going to make this work. And so it has been for me ever since then. So moving on to the expanding your skill set. So think about it this way. You have, what you bring to the table. You have your value and your skill set and all of your experience. Then think about each person that you're bringing on your team and think about their value they're bringing to the table. Think about all the experience that they're bringing to the table and the skills that they're bringing to the team. You start adding people on, just think about all that, just think tank of knowledge that you have on your team to where you pretty much can make anything possible in a lot of different ways. So I challenge you guys to do that. It's really, really awesome. Moving on to the A, which is achieving more, that kind of ties back into the T. You're going to absolutely achieve more. And I will tell you this, with business owners, I hear all the time some business owners, they may have been in business a couple of years and they've been the one-man entrepreneur, which is great. I am not knocking that whatsoever. But what I ask them is, okay, what have been your sale increases over the years? And then they get quiet, or they're like, oh, well, I've been making the same thing. And I'm like, whoa, 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 let's back up here. Because they've been doing accounting. They're doing the sales, and depending on what their business is, they're making the products or service work, and they're doing it all, and it's hard to do. They're taking calls for prospective clients. It's a lot. I understand. I get it. I've been there, done that. We all have, but that's not the smart way of doing things. And so I definitely, for those of you that haven't, if you're in the early stages, don't stress yourself out. You will get burnt out very, very quickly. Just to say that, just to say the least, guys. And moving on is, I'll tell you, the team that I have is so amazing. It's free marketing for your company. They are everything that we do at Jasmine and Co. They're sharing everything I have on social media, and they go over and beyond to help me get the message out. Or if somebody seems a good fit for our business as a potential, client, then they're like, hey, Jasmine, contact them. And so when you start to have the same thing, especially if that person is just if they just bring things as far as skill sets or value to your team, but you offer the total package like Phyllis does. I do as well. Phyllis, she wants to be the one-stop shop for your business for back-end operations. Same thing with me. I want to be able to take care of all your administrative and marketing needs for your business. And so if I have someone on my team building websites and that's what they're good at, they're going to go out there in areas in marketing that they may not bring to the table because they know we do it. And even, it may be a website person too, but at the end of the day, that's more money in their pocket. They're going to help you try to grow your business because that's going to be more hours, more money, more retainer packages, or however the for them. And so I challenge you guys to think about that as well. So overall, guys, investing in a team, it's very crucial. And so we want to help spread the word that outsourcing. I want you guys to think of 3 things, and I'm going to pass it on. I want you to look at if your business is already started, look at how many hours is it taking you to do some of the things in your business. Is it taking way too many hours? Go ahead and outsource that. Take that off your hands. And then I want you to look at what is your budget, and then what do you hate doing. If you haven't started your business, I still want you to things, but when you get going, you already have a head start. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Phyllis so that she can talk about networking.
Guys, she really, talked about the importance of having a team, which in essence leads in for networking. So, networking is very important. And so for those who really don't know me personally, I am a true introvert. So my one thing when I was starting the business, all these other letters, okay, I understood, investing in myself, financials, numbers, all that great stuff. But guys, networking was like, oh my God, I don't want to have to sell myself. And so, but in order to really, grow your business, you have to put yourself in alliance with, the right people and get to know people and, build your business because, people will start to recommend you. Like Jasmine said, she has people that go for bat for you. People will start to recommend you if they know you. So let's talk about, the JP Level Up Boutique, for example, business groups, guys. So if you were trying to start a boutique and you would want to join different business groups, there's so many e-commerce business groups, guys. There's so many different, how to sell clothing, retail groups. There's so many different ones that you can join. Chamber of Commerce. Every city you have, no matter how big or small it has at least one Chamber of Commerce, if not a lot. So I am here in Vegas. They have a Women's Chamber of Commerce, Urban Chamber of Commerce, a Metro Chamber of Commerce. There's so many different ones. Go to one meeting for every chamber and find the one that fits for you, so you can really find your target market there. Friends and family, guys. Okay, so this is a big one because a lot of times we don't really share our business goals with our friends and family. We'll talk about the latest thing that Kim Kardashian is doing, or we'll talk about the sports teams, and we'll talk about all of this different gossip stuff. But how many of us really sit down with our friends and say, I want to start a business? They have the same dreams and goals as you do. So, that saying goes, you're surrounded by the 5 people who you're surrounded by is going to help you decide where you're going to end up in life ultimately. So don't be afraid to discuss these things with your friends. You never know. Maybe that person who you want to start an online boutique with, maybe she wants to model your clothing for you. Coworkers. Now, this is a caveat here. It really depends on the coworkers, and only be the ones that you trust. But like I said, same thing with the friends and family. Maybe you find that coworker who wants to start a business as well, and you guys start having lunchtime meetings every Wednesday. For example, Jasmine and I, like I said, she's in Arkansas and I'm here in Vegas. We have Wednesday meetings every Wednesday, guys, where we're brainstorming. We are trying to figure out our next steps. We're really helping each other and sharing information, and it really helps us to stay accountable. Classes. So, go to different classes that has your target market there, or people that you can meet and, build relationships with. And there's online groups and communities, guys. So, I'm sure some of us are in these Facebook groups for entertainment, but did you know there's a lot of different online groups and communities that are going to be for what you need. So for example, I'm in the tax season Facebook group. I'm in an entrepreneurship accountants Facebook group. And so during tax season, it's like this whole, we can survive thing, and people are sharing stories, and, we're all like, we can get this together type thing. So it just builds that online camaraderie, people. And then meetup and events. So if you have never heard of the site, go to meetup.com. There are so many different meetups that you can join and get to know people. And even like myself, who I like to travel a lot, I'll go to, for example, Arizona, and then I'll go find a meetup and then go get some business networking and, a little tax write-off secret that I do. So guys, education. This one is key. Now, as you saw earlier, I am certified and educated, and I'm always trying to take myself to the next level. Because if you're not learning, there's someone else out there that's doing more than you. I want you guys to think about, 10 years ago with, how much Facebook has grown, for example. I don't know how old you guys are who's watching this, but 10 years ago, MySpace was that big thing, okay? Now, I don't know where MySpace is anymore. And so even though it's inconceivable, 10 years from now, we don't know if Facebook is going to be around. And so when I say that is, you have to understand the new software, the new terminology, the new social media platforms. You need to stay on top of that, because that's what your competition is doing. So there's 3 types of learning methods, and I'm then going to go through some examples on how you guys can learn, especially, for those who aren't in that 18 to 25-year-old range where you still have time to go to school full time and be, all in, as myself as a mother, I don't have time to go to a full-time university anymore. So I do a lot of different ways to keep myself educated. So there's auditory, way of learning, guys. So that is someone who likes to listen. So for example, if you like to do audiobooks, podcasts, radio shows, auditory is going to be really good for you, because you can just listen on the go. Visual. So those are people who like to see things. So you're going to have your books, guys, things that you can read, newspapers, all those things that you can visually see. And then kinesthetic is like hands-on learning. And so a lot of that's going to be, face-to-face classes, things that you're going to do. So maybe you're taking a course that's teaching you how to do QuickBooks, and as you're taking the course, you're doing the learning. So I went through some of these, but I'm just going to go through some more examples. So online classes, they're for whatever you want to do. So if it's an online boutique, for example, Google online boutique classes, how to start. You could take a class. Sometimes they're free. Sometimes they cost a little bit of money, but they're never the same price as a whole university. Books, audiobooks. So right now, I'm listening to the 10X Rule, guys. That's my audiobook. And it just really helps me every morning. I tell Alexa to start my day, and then she reads my Audible book, and it just keeps me in that mindset. So there's a lot of ways to get information. Podcasts. So I have a podcast called Small Business Conversations with PKJ, where I interview entrepreneurs and small business owners. And, this is a good way to learn from other entrepreneurs. But guys, look, podcasts are a great way to really listen to things that you need to learn. Courses. So myself and Jasmine, we both have courses on specific things. For example, I'm going to be doing a course on how to start a business. She has a course on, virtual assistants. So there's so many different courses you can take that are specific to what you need to learn. Then there's webinars like this one. So hopefully you guys are getting something out of this and truly learning, the 8 keys to a successful business startup. Blogs. So that's the way to just kind of read. And then guys, YouTube University. I don't know about you guys, but I am the queen of taking my phone and saying, okay, what is it that I need to know? How to do X. And there is someone that has created that video, no matter what it is. And if it's not there, why not just create your own? So startup capital, money, 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 money. Okay, obviously as an accountant, this is my favorite letter. We all hear the same thing. I want to start a business, but I don't have any money. Guys, this is where it's time to get serious about how serious you are about how much you really want to start your business. Because what I always tell a person is this: you should have at least 3 to 6 months of savings before you start your business. Now, everyone does not have that luxury. Some people jump all in and it works. And some people, have millions of dollars and that works too. But, getting 3 to 6 months of savings, it's not that hard if you guys are truly dedicated to making your business successful. So just some of the ways you could do is go on Craigslist and get some, side jobs. Go on OfferUp and sell some stuff. Facebook has a market now and sell some stuff. Look through your house and see what you can do. There's so many babysitting. There's so many different off tasks that you can do that you can make us some money to get the startup capital needed to start your business. Some other ways, like I said, going through savings. Other ways is friends and family. Now, this is a very, tricky one because a lot of people don't like to ask their friends and family for money. So when I say this is don't end up on Judge Mathis, Judge Judy, or Judge Joe Brown getting sued by your friend of 30 years because you didn't pay them back $3,000 that they invested in your business. Treat it like a business document. Get it signed, get it notarized. Say, I'm going to pay this person back by this amount, or this person owns 10% of the business, whatever it is, get it documented and take it seriously. Your friends are going to be there to support you, but do you really want to lose a friendship over, in essence, some money? It's sad, but it happens. So don't do that. Treat your friends and family as someone who is caring enough to put their money up for you in your business. Credit cards. Now, people say credit cards are bad. I am a proponent of credit cards if used correctly. So I have my best friend, which is a Southwest credit card. I use it for everything. Guys, when you start your business, get a business credit card. So anything that you do in that first year, $5,000 could be written off as startup costs, guys, $5,000. And the way to do that is you need to keep track. Business credit cards is the way to do that. And then you could pay it off in due time. Some credit cards offer 0% interest rate in 18 months. How amazing is that? Just make sure your credit is in order. And so if it's not, go ahead and reach out to myself and I can help you through that process. Small business loans. So I talked about this earlier with, getting an SBA business plan and how important it is, to have your financials in place. Guys, the SBA will loan you money to start your passion. However, you need to have your financials in order. They want to know, what are you doing with this money? How am I going to get it back? It's still a loan, guys, even if it's the SBA, it's not a grant or a donation. So you need to make sure your business plan is in order to get startup capital. And that's kind of how these letters connect. And then, guys, okay, if you're really all in passionate about your business, you're serious and you want to open up, a restaurant or anything, there's always an option to refinance your house, if you own it. It's a great way, it's a great tool to, really invest in your dream. And so now we're going to have Jasmine talk about the importance of staying hungry.
Oh my goodness, guys. We are dropping those jewels on you guys. I really hope y'all are we are finally on the last key here to a successful business startup. And as you can see, you need to think about and really look at before you get started, or if you're still in the early stages, is absolutely not. We really challenge you guys to really sit down and take a look at everything that we've talked about. If you need to restructure some things, great, amazing. I would love for you guys to share your success, where you are in your journey. So we're going to talk about what is this? What is it? So hungry. So I want to ask you guys something first before we get started. Have you heard the term "stay hungry"? Steps actually said this before. Well, right before they graduated. And so basically what it means is staying hungry means that you're never satisfied and you're always wanting more for you. You don't get complacent. You don't get comfortable. And then staying foolish means a fool is easily convincing, will make sense in the future. Like what? So that makes it easier to live in the present and pretty much about what happened and whatever happened and all of that. So you don't want to be that, right? So you want to stay hungry. You want more. You want to keep wanting more. Determined. Passion should not be enough. So first we're going to start with, how do you stay hungry and live this amazing, extraordinary life? So the first thing is, and then choose it again and choose it again. So let's think about some famous people that we know out there. Tyler Perry, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, you name it, right? Tiffany Powers at one point in time. All of these people have slept on somebody's couch. They knew what they were after. It was their dream. They kept pushing to get there. They have failed. All of them have failed numerous. They kept pushing and pushing because they knew the absolute end goal, and they knew that they were determined to get there. So I challenge you guys to do the same. Also, open up a restaurant, and you want to open up a Mexican restaurant. That is wonderful. Do that. Please do that. And guess what? If you open a restaurant and it fails, get back off and keep pushing. Don't give up because it didn't work out the first time, because I'm here to tell you that in business, it's going to work out how you want it. Things are never going to go according to plan. Things are always going to be thrown at you. So I challenge you guys to do that. The next thing we have is finding the time. It kills me when people say that they don't have time for something, because I honestly feel that you make time for what you want to make time for. Love and Hip Hop that comes on at 7:00 p.m. or Grey's Anatomy that comes on Thursdays. You also probably didn't forget about your cousins this Saturday, at the club or at a restaurant that night. You didn't forget those things. So you should apply the same things in your business. If you're the person right now that has a family and you have a full-time job and you are trying to build your business as well, there's no shame in the game. It's okay. But what you're going to have to do is create time. So if you work in your full day, go pick the kids up from school, you feed them dinner, give them a bath, you spend 1 or 2 hours that night working on stuff, that's great. Make your list. If you're trying to accomplish 3 things in those 1 or 2 hours, then do that. That's fine. And then after a week, if you do that day to day and you look back at the week, you'll be like, wow, like I really got some stuff done. Like it was successful. You want to make sure you write everything down. This really ties back to the goal planning. When you're mapping everything out, it should make it easy for you to be like, okay, tonight I'm going to spend an hour. I'm going to do this. Tomorrow I'm going to spend 2 hours and do this. You can make time. And if you really want it that bad, you'll cut out the teacher stuff and you're going to make it happen regardless. So moving on to the next one is making a decision. I'm the type of person, I'm very indecisive, and it's hard sometimes. But to be honest, as I have maneuvered through my business journey, I have had to put my foot down numerous of times, and I made the best sound decision for that moment, right? So you guys are going to have to do the same thing. Sometimes it's going to be hard to make a decision, but you have to make one. Make firm on it and move on from it. If it's okay, it's just okay. If something, you just be prepared for whatever may happen after that. Don't worry about that. I have done it numerous of times. And make sure that it's a sound decision, though. Make sure that you don't just make decisions off the fly, and that you have your ducks in a row, crossed and your I's dotted. Just make sure of that. And failing quickly, but you're going to fail. You're going to fall. And when you do that, it's only going to make you stronger as a person, but also it's going to make your business stronger too, because you're going to learn from that mistake and you're going to restructure things in your business so that A, that doesn't happen again, or B, you're going to be ready for if something similar like that happens again. You're going to have your weapons up like, not today. Don't be afraid to fail and don't be afraid to fall. I think what happens with most business owners that haven't even started their business yet, they get overwhelmed by failing. That scares them. But guess what? If you look at all of the minute that go to celebrities, they have fallen numerous of times to even get where they are. It's going to happen. Things are going to be thrown at you different type of ways. And you just have to keep an open mindset and remain flexible to shift gears, as you need to, or shift gears numerous of times, because it's going to happen. But I will tell you, I'm not telling all of this to scare. These things are going to be coming, and being a business owner is not easy. If it was easy if there would be no 9 to 5 jobs, because everybody would want to start a business and live this super life where they can work on the beach and take vacations what they want and all of these things. Everybody is not willing to do it. They're not willing to put in the work. It's going to be hard work. And then lastly, guys, is just keep moving. I kind of left this out. I meant to say a minute ago when we were talking about finding time, is as long as you're taking steps, you're still taking steps toward whatever your goal is, and you're still progressing forward. Now, if you didn't take that hour to knock 2 or 3 things that are on your list, then you are in the same spot you were yesterday. So you want to make sure that that doesn't happen. You want to make sure that you're still moving, that you're still taking steps. At the end of the day, when you look back after a week, after a month, you'll be like, wow, like I really got some things done. And I just said that a minute ago. So same concept. So keep your feet moving no matter what. Keep things in the and moving and moving. It may not be at the pace you want, especially like I said, if you have working multiple jobs, you have a family, or you just have a lot going on in your personal situation. I completely understand that. I get it. When I first started my business, I was home with my oldest babies. So it was very hard to navigate between her. My husband was on the road, and it was very, very tough. So I completely understand. I'm only talking to you from my experiences because I don't want you guys to make it hard on yourself, especially when you're first getting started, because the process can already be overwhelming. So that's all I wanted to share with staying hungry. Like I said, I really hope you guys, wrote a lot of notes and really of all of these keys to a successful business startup, because they are only going to help you. And the last thing that I want, I think Phyllis can attest to this, is we don't want you guys to reinvent the wheel, and we definitely don't want you guys to make the same mistakes. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Phyllis so that she can talk about our next steps and kind of our plans for the rest of this year.
Guys, she really, talked about the importance of staying hungry. And I just wanted to really add on to that. We all get to that point in business where it gets tough. You have that customer who is just driving you crazy, or those vendors, or the payroll is hard and you just feel defeated. You can't make any sales. There's always going to be something. Just like if you have a regular job, there's always going to be something. And so I really want you guys to start with your why. Whenever you get to that point in your business where you are ready to just give up, remember your why. That's the number one thing you need to do. And so I'm going to share with you guys my why that just always, no matter what, keeps me going. 4 years ago, I was working a full-time job in corporate America, and I was going to that job at 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I wasn't leaving till 8, 9 o'clock at night sometimes, guys. And so, I was doing so much stuff. The CEO wasn't even coming into the office anymore. I learned a lot, which helped me start this business. But I was getting home and my daughter was already asleep. And then sometimes I would, be getting up and not even able to take her to school. Guys, I was missing my daughter growing up. And, she was only 4 or 5 at the time. And so, I didn't really want to miss her growing up for a job. And so I ended up leaving that job, guys. And it's just been an amazing blessing because I can take her to school. I can pick her up, during spring break, she can hang with me. She comes in the office, she's actually now thinking of different businesses she can start at 10. And so she is my why. Whenever I think about going back to another job where, this is hard, I think about the way that I have structured my business so that I can make sure to always fulfill my why, which is, spending time with my daughter and building a life that allows me to have the flexibility to do what I want, which is, travel and, go to Miami for my birthday in the middle of tax season, for example, and still do taxes, or, go to Costa Rica, or just go, kind of build the life I wanted to build by building my own company, guys. So you can do it too. There's no reason why you cannot start today. So guys, I'm really happy that you guys joined us today. If you haven't got your guide to the 8 keys to successful business plan, go ahead and send me an email, info@pkjconsulting.com. Guys, if you want to book a consultation with myself or Jasmine, here's our email address, and also feel free, because we have a team, go ahead and type in PKJ Consulting or Jasmine Monk in Google, and I'm sure you're going to find all our different social media, all our emails, and on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Goodbye. And we'll stay online if you guys have any chat questions. Thanks.